What are the back rooms, and why did millions believe? Endless yellow hallways, humming lights, an escape that never arrives. Tonight we map the back rooms from internet rumor to viral phenomenon. We'll show where it started, how it exploded, and the levels that made it feel real. Stay to the end for the moment it jumped from net lore to a feature film in development. The internet has a name for eerie, in-between places. They're called liminal spaces. They look familiar, yet wrong, like an office at 3 a.m. or a mall after closing. That mismatch primes your brain to invent danger. Your eyes see old carpet and buzzing tubes. Your mind whispers, something is here. Level 0 is where the myth begins. In 2019, a forum post described no clipping out of reality and landing in stained yellow rooms with damp carpet and a fluorescent buzz. The picture was nothing special on its own, but the setting felt universal. Every office you've ever tried to leave after dark, looped forever. Fan wikis labeled it the lobby. Rules appeared. Keep moving, follow the hum, avoid dead ends. Creators stitched maps, floor plans, and warning lists that looked like survival guides. Suddenly, it wasn't just a creepy image. It was a place with procedures. Level 1 pushed deeper. Concrete floors replaced carpet, pipes rattled overhead, the lights flickered harder, and the sound turned metallic. People added maintenance rooms, loading bays, and the sense that someone could appear around any corner. Viewers started treating each upload like a breadcrumb. ARG-style clues popped up in captions and background notes. It felt like a world you could solve if you watched closely enough. Level 2 raised the stakes. Narrow corridors tightened the frame. Air vents roared. Heat shimmered in the lens. The pacing quickened, and so did the heart rate of anyone watching in the dark. This is where the myth stopped being a mood and started feeling like a chase. And that set the stage for the video that turned a niche aesthetic into a global fear. Ready for the clip that supercharged everything? Don't blink. In January 2022, a teenage filmmaker named Kane Parsons, online as Kane Pixels, uploaded The Backrooms found footage. It opened on a cheerful set, then a sudden fall through the floor into level 0. The camera wandered the yellow maze with convincing handheld jitters, lost focus, and analog hiss. Then came the sound you can almost feel. Far-off footsteps, a low groan, something moving just out of view. When the creature finally appeared, it didn't need a close-up. It needed motion and echoes and distance. That single short racked up tens of millions of views and became a series. Each entry layered new spaces, new sounds, and tiny on-screen details that rewarded pausing and rewatching. The effect was simple and devastating. If this is fake, why does it feel so real? Here's the jump from net lore to Hollywood. Trade reports say a feature film based on the Backrooms is in development, with Parsons attached to direct and established producers on board. The idea that started as a forum post now has a path to the big screen. That doesn't happen to every creepypasta. It happens when an idea is both flexible and instantly recognizable. So why did the Backrooms fool so many people? It weaponized the ordinary. Old carpet, fluorescent hum, generic walls, things we usually ignore, were reframed as threats. The camera language sold the lie. Handheld shakes, lens breathing, ISO grain, and compression artifacts created the illusion of an unplanned capture. Any mistake looked like evidence. The community did the rest. Fan wikis named levels, drew entities, cataloged exits, and posted field notes with rules that felt dangerously helpful. A map invites travel. Rules imply survival. Put that together and viewers don't just watch. They play. Even the audio carried fear. Fluorescent buzz sits in the same frequency range as human nerves. Loop it long enough and you tense without knowing why. Cut it abruptly and your brain screams, something changed. The myth also spread because it was modular. You can add a room, a rule, or a rumor without breaking the world. Creators borrowed the format for their own levels, stitched new corridors, and hid lore in everyday offices, garages, and storage facilities. It became a collaborative template. When one video hit big, it lifted the whole idea with it. There's a psychology angle too. Liminal images tug at memories of places you barely remember. Waiting rooms, basements, school halls after hours. Your brain tries to resolve the mismatch between familiarity and emptiness. When it can't, it fills the gap with threat. Backrooms content exploits that gap with just enough motion or sound to suggest a presence. You never get a full look. Your mind supplies the rest. Let's connect the levels to the feeling. Level 0 is dread by repetition. Every corner looks the same, so you fear you're looping. Level 1 is dread by machinery. Sounds suggest systems that don't care if you're there. Level 2 is dread by heat and hazard. Tight spaces and louder hums signal real-world danger. And the viral found footage adds dread by pursuit. Your body reads the camera's panic as your own. Each step down borrows tricks from horror, but grounds them in rooms we all recognize. Hear the hum now? That's the tell. If you muted these videos, they would still look eerie. But it's the sound that convinces you the lights might fail, the air might stop, and the hall might go on forever. The best uploads know when to hold the hum, when to cut to silence, and when to let a distant thump echo too long. That timing is what sells the reality. One more reason it worked: verisimilitude beats spectacle. Instead of monsters in full view, you get shapes at the edge of a frame and footprints in dusty carpet. Instead of perfect CGI, you get glitchy warps, warped audio, and visible seams that read as accidental. Those flaws are the trick. They become proof. If you're new to the Backrooms, start with level 0 clips, then jump to the 2022 found footage. Watch the edits where the hum cuts and the camera dips. Note the tiny continuity clues that imply geography, vent placement, stain patterns, light gaps. Once you see those, the chase changes. It's less about escape and more about mapping a place that shouldn't exist. Which level unsettles you most? 0, 1, 2, or the found footage chase? Comment your pick, then binge our analog horror playlist for deeper breakdowns. Subscribe so you don't miss updates on the feature in development and the smartest new Backrooms uploads. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and if you hear that fluorescent buzz behind you, keep walking.